Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. You are watching Hum Sab TV and I am Muneeb Hamid with the news in English. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Chief Imran Khan declared Chief Minister of Punjab Shehbaz Sharif as Chota Don. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Chairman Imran Khan on Monday appeared before an anti-terrorism court for 4 cases, including the PTV and Parliament attack cases and the SSP Asmatullah Junejo torture case. Imran appeared before the court and requested exemption from the next hearing. The court accepted the request and granted him exemption for 1 day. Earlier, the court had confirmed Imran's pre-arrest bail in cases pertaining to attack on the then SSP, Junejo, PTV and Parliament, as well as violation of the Loudspeaker Act during 2014 sit-ins in the capital. Talking to media after the hearing of cases against him, Imran Khan urged anti-terrorism court to also summon Shehbaz Sharif, as Chinese company officer had revealed that corruption was carried out during Multan Metrobus project. He said that the chief executive officer of Capital Engineering Company, Faisal Subhan, who took contract of Multan Metrobus project, is missing from past few days. Subhan said he is frontman of Shehbaz Sharif. He added PTI chief also alleged Punjab CM of spending mammoth amounts of 9,000 billion in 9 years, adding profit of Metrobus projects in Multan and Lahore is being given to the Sharif family. He further demanded to make these projects public. Interpol response awaited on request to arrest Hussain Haqqani. Government is waiting for an Interpol response to its request regarding arrest of Hussain Haqqani, former ambassador of Pakistan to the United States and principal accused in the Memogate scandal. Senior official of the Federal Investigation Agency told that the agency had sought assistance of Interpol in arresting Mr. Haqqani, as he was wanted in the Memogate case being tried in the Supreme Court. FIA had sent the first request to Interpol last week, soon after the February 15 decision of the Supreme Court to issue arrest warrants for Hussain Haqqani. The Supreme Court had ordered Mr. Haqqani to appear in the Memogate case, but he failed to comply with the order. Mr. Haqqani described the Supreme Court order for his arrest as propaganda antics. Supreme Court adjourns hearing in Talal Chaudhary contempt case till March 6th. Minister of State for Interior Affairs Talal Chaudhary appeared on Monday before the Supreme Court of Pakistan in a contempt of court case. A 3-member bench headed by Justice Ijaz Afzal Khan resumed hearing in the contempt case after the top court took notice of Talal Chaudhary's contemptuous speech in January. During the hearing, Justice Ijaz inquired if the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz leader had submitted reply to the notice issued by the Apex Court. Talal Chaudhary informed the court he had submitted preliminary reply in contempt case. The bench then questioned the absence of Chaudhary's counsel Kamran Murtaza in the courtroom, to which the defendant replied that his counsel is on general adjournment till March 5. Following this, the court adjourned the hearing till March 6th. NAB summoned Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's leader Abdul Aleem Khan over his offshore company. National Accountability Bureau Lahore has summoned Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's leader Abdul Aleem Khan on Monday to quiz him for having an offshore company revealed in the Panama Papers. Mr. Khan had appeared before NAB's Lahore officials last month and recorded his statements after the Bureau had sought the record of his tax returns, remittances and bank transactions from the Federal Board of Revenue Chairman, State Bank of Pakistan Governor and the Director General of the Financial and Monitoring Unit of the SBP. Mr. Khan says that he will defend himself with all documentary evidence and has directed his lawyer and accountant to appear before NAB investigation officers and present all the relevant documentary record. He says he completely believes in the supremacy of law and state institutions. I will not attack state institutions like disqualified Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, he asserts, and adds that he will also personally appear whenever called by NAB. Mr. Khan is also facing NAB references in his 2 housing schemes in Lahore. Accountability Court accepted for hearing a supplementary reference against former Finance Minister Ishaq Dar. Accountability Court on Monday accepted for hearing a supplementary reference against former Finance Minister Ishaq Dar. The hearing of a reference against the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz leader for possessing more wealth than his declared income took place in the Accountability Court. National Accountability Bureau submitted the supplementary reference against Dar in the court. The documents pertaining to the supplementary reference were brought to the court in 2 boxes. NAB to file supplementary reference against Dar according to sources. 4 new suspects and more than 10 witnesses were included in the supplementary reference against Ishaq Dar. New evidence has also been brought forward. The court, accepting the supplementary reference, summoned 3 suspects on February 28. These include National Bank President Saeed Ahmed Khan and the directors of Ishaq Dar's company, Naeem Mahmood and Mansoor Raza. The NAB prosecutor, Imran Shafiq, said the supplementary reference consisting of 7 volumes has been filed and the details of the suspects' accounts are also a part of the reference. Sindh High Court accepted the Federal Investigation Agency's appeal against the Chief Executive Officer Shoaib Sheikh in a money laundering case. Sindh High Court on Monday accepted the Federal Investigation Agency's appeal against the acquittal of Chief Executive Officer Shoaib Sheikh in a money laundering case, setting aside an earlier decision by a district and sessions court. The case will be heard against by the trial court, the Sindh High Court ordered. Following the acceptance of the appeal, FIA officials set up pickets at the court's exit to arrest Sheikh since he has yet to be granted bail. The exec chief is currently inside the court's premises with his lawyers, who are insisting that the court has not ordered Sheikh's arrest and that he should be given time to approach the court for bail. A district and sessions court had acquitted Shoaib Sheikh in a money laundering case in 2016. However, the Supreme Court took notice of the issue after the fake degree scandal involving Exec re-emerged last month. Directors Sindh and Islamabad High Courts to promptly decide on the pending case regarding Exec. Syria's Ghouta reels from strikes, clashes despite ceasefire call. Desperate civilians trapped in one of the most ferocious assaults of Syria's civil war awaited aid and medical help on Monday after regime airstrikes Palmyra, rebel-held eastern Ghouta, despite US ceasefire demands. More than 500 people have been killed in a major bombing campaign by President Bashar al-Assad's forces that have hammered the enclave on the edge of Damascus for over a week. After days of diplomatic wrangling, the United Nations Security Council on Saturday adopted a resolution calling for a 30-day ceasefire in Syria without delay for allowing aid deliveries and medical evacuations. The resolution raised hopes for stemming the bloodshed, but after clashes continued on Sunday, it was unclear when or how broadly the ceasefire would be implemented. Iran and Turkey say Syria attacks to continue despite United Nations resolution. Iran said pro-Damascus forces would press ahead with attacks on an insurgent enclave near the Syrian capital as ground fighting raged on there in defiance of a UN resolution demanding a 30-day truce across the country. Turkey too said its military operations in another theater of war in the north of Syria would not be affected by the unanimous Security Council vote demanding the truce to allow war, aid, access and medical evacuations. Anti-government rebels said they clashed with the pro-government forces near Damascus on Sunday as rescuers and residents said warplanes struck some towns in the eastern Ghouta pocket. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said airstrikes and artillery killed 9 people and injured 31 in the eastern suburbs. The UK-based monitoring group said Sunday's bombing was less intense than attacks over the past week. North Korea ready for talks with United States. North Korean envoy making a rare visit to South Korea said that his country was willing to open talks with the United States, a rare step towards diplomacy between enemies after a year of North Korean missile and nuclear tests and direct threats of war from both Pyongyang and Washington. Kim Jong-chol, who Seoul believes masterminded 2 attacks in 2010 that killed 50 South Koreans, was in South Korea for the end of the Olympics. He said North Korean leader Kim Jong-un wanted to improve ties with Washington and had ample intentions of holding talks with its rival. According to the South's presidential office, he made the remarks during a meeting with South Korean President Moon Jae-in, who is eager to engage the North after one of the most hostile periods in recent years on the Korean peninsula. China's ruling Communist Party set the stage for President Xi Jinping to stay in office. China's ruling Communist Party on Sunday set the stage for President Xi Jinping to stay in office indefinitely, with a proposal to remove a constitutional clause limiting presidential service to just 2 terms in office. Since taking office more than 5 years ago, Xi has overseen a radical shake-up of the party, including taking down top leaders once thought untouchable as part of his popular war on deep-rooted corruption. Sunday's announcement, carried by state news agency Xinhua, gave few details. It said the proposal had been made by the party's Central Committee, the largest of its elite ruling bodies. The proposal also covers the vice president position. British Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn is facing increasing pressure to change the party's Brexit stance. British Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn is facing increasing pressure to change the party's Brexit stance ahead of a key speech on Britain's plan to leave the European Union. More than 80 senior Labour Party figures signed a statement published on Sunday in The Observer, calling for Britain to remain in the European Union single market and the customs union after Brexit. The letter states that Britain's economy would be so damaged by leaving the single market and customs unions that Labour would be unable to carry out its reforms if it comes to power. The letter states that Labour's position in Parliament means it is in a position to prevent Britain from going too far in severing its economic ties to the other 27 European Union members. Mexico presidency candidate denies corruption accusations. One of the leading opposition contenders for the Mexican presidency in July's election on Sunday rejected corruption allegations against him and accused the government of trying to smear his campaign, which is running second in most polls. Ricardo Anaya, candidate of a right-left coalition, presented the Attorney General's office with a letter denying allegations by rivals that he had benefited from illicit property deals in Querétaro, his home state in central Mexico. At the center of the dispute is the purchase and sale of real estate in an industrial park in Querétaro between 2014 and 2016. Anaya said the deals were completely legitimate, setting out the various transactions in a video posted on social media. The Attorney General's office issued a short statement saying that a complaint had been filed last October by an unnamed party about suspected operations involving illicit funds, prompting an investigation to be launched. Major quake cuts communication, halts oil and gas operations in Papua New Guinea. At least one company began evacuating non-essential personnel after a powerful 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit Papua New Guinea's energy-rich interior on Monday, causing landslides, damaging buildings and closing oil and gas operations. The tremor hit in the rugged, heavily forested southern highlands about 560 kilometers northwest of the capital, Port Moresby, at around 3:45 a.m. local time. Samsung launches new S9 phone with augmented reality features. Samsung unveiled its new flagship smartphone on Sunday with a focus on augmented reality features as it seeks to keep its title as the world's biggest smartphone maker. The South Korean firm showcased the Galaxy S9 on the eve of the official start of the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, which comes after a year of flat smartphone sales. With no other major handset making using the annual event, the world's largest phone show, to launch a new flagship device this year, Samsung had the opportunity to grab the spotlight. The S9 features essentially the same design as last year's previous flagship, with the full screen and curved glass edge of the S8, which was followed by Apple's iPhone X and others. But it includes louder sound, a faster processor, and software that turns selfies into animated emojis, which will appeal to consumers who are increasingly preferring to use their phones to send text messages rather than talking. And now some sports news. Karachi Kings go top of PSL 2018 points table with 5-wicket win over Peshawar Zalmi. A superb all-around bowling performance by the Karachi Kings and their captain Imad Wasim's clutch 6 late in their innings helped them defeat Peshawar Zalmi by 5 wickets in their Pakistan Super League 2018 fixture in Dubai. Zalmi won the toss and decided to bat first as openers Kamran Akmal and Tamim Iqbal arrived at the crease. Akmal hit 2 boundaries and a maximum in the opening over by Wasim before Mohammad Amir dismissed him. And now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Partly cloudy weather conditions are likely in most western and upper parts of the country. However, rain thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Malakand, Hazara, Peshawar, Madlan, Kohat, Rawalpindi, Quetta, Zob divisions, Islamabad, Fatah, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of the news. For more news and updates, keep watching Hums Up TV. Please subscribe to Hums Up TV and hit the notification icon on the screen to get the latest updates of our channel. Thank you for watching Hums Up TV.